I don't even know what to title this video quite yet. It's kind of a heat of the moment thing, but I've been thinking a lot about my career path personally. Currently I'm about to enter my senior year of college, and I've spent a vast majority of the last year and a half thinking about what I want to do, the path I'm on, and the things I'm interested in. And for a long time, a really long time, I was convinced I was going to go to law school, get my JD, work in some big law job, get paid handsomely, and go about my life. But the more I've thought about it, the more I've realized that I just don't think it's what I'm made for. I've been really interested in startups, in starting a business of my own, of creating an idea that positively impacts large amounts of people on a massive scale. And I was thinking about why I haven't even started to work on that or listen to that intuition. This past year, I joined a startup competition. I had an idea for some simple habit tracking app I wanted to create, and I made it into the competition, and then I didn't show up to any of the events. It was almost like leaving my idea perfectly intact was better than risking the idea of messing up or being perceived as a failure for going after the thing I'm interested in. And I'm slowly beginning to realize that the worst thing that could possibly happen is that I temporarily fail. Because I think if you focus on something enough, if you believe in yourself enough, you can't fail at something forever. And if you do, that's better than never trying at all. And I was trying to think of the way in which I would word it to my parents, because they just want the best for me. And what seems best is very often what seems best to other people, which is just the conventional path. You get your 4-year degree and then you go to law school because that's a tried and true method of creating a stable life for your kid. And it just doesn't. I'm trying to think of how I would explain it to them. And it's hard to do because you're placing all of your bets on something you can't even prove quite yet. It's just a feeling you have. I have no reason to believe I would be a great founder or a great business person, but it's something that I feel. It's my intuition telling me that this is the thing I'm made for. I was daydreaming just a few moments ago about what it would feel like to be funded as an early stage startup by Y Combinator. And it was one of the most potent dopamine hits I've ever had. It felt like something that could really happen if I took it as seriously as I know I can. And it's a hard thing because sometimes I think at least I do this, we take the dreams of other people's much more seriously than we take our own. I guess I've come to realize that there's really no deferred life plan. You either do the things you set out to do, or you live as a shell of yourself, trying to meet the expectations of other people. And if you're trying to be everything for other people, you end up being nothing for yourself. I've also been reading Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Workweek, and he had a question in there where it was I'll paraphrase, but if you go after this specific thing you're interested in, what is the worst thing that could possibly happen? What's the worst case scenario if you go after this thing compared to the thing you like traditionally should do? And I was thinking about what the worst possible thing is that could happen if I decide not to go to law school. And the answer is just disappointing my parents. And I think that's a temporary thing, because obviously, it's the initial disappointment being like, wow, my son isn't doing this thing. And I was convinced he was going to be on that path his whole life. And then it gradually turns into acceptance, because I think as you get closer and closer to being whoever you were meant to be, people begin to respect you more for having the courage to just be yourself. I know that the journey will not be perfect. I'm sure I will mess up. I'm sure there will be hard times. But I also know that if I stay on the path I'm currently on, I won't even have the chance to mess up. The rest of it is just predetermined if I don't take this so-called risk and chance, not even on myself, but on my intuition. And I think it's really important to not sacrifice that small amount of temporary embarrassment in favor of never exploring a huge, undiscovered portion of your life. I guess now it's time to come up with a serious business idea. I'm sure that won't come easy too, but the point is, I'm trying. I'm gonna tangibly go after this thing, and if all else fails, I'll be proud of myself for at least going for it, because that's all you can do. Your best.